Hello, comic book fans. Welcome to Comic Fix, your one-stop shop for every single thing DC Comics is, from creator owned to a little bit Marvel. My name's David, and welcome to the Comic Fix. Now, today's episode is episode 23.1. And in today's video, I'm going to start out the way I do every single week, and that is with my indie titles, or my creator-owned titles that I got this week. Now, the one I'm going to be reviewing first is a book that I just saw the cover, and the cover sold me. In my stack, I knew I didn't have anything that was creepy or in the horror genre. So I saw this little cover, and I thought, I will pick this book up. And that book is Colder issue number 1. Just look at that cover. Everything is just so creepy about this. Now we start out the issue in a same asylum in 1941. And now, one thing I love, it doesn't matter if it's movies, comics, or just a regular book, is that whenever there's an asylum in there, I just love the depiction of the craziness that there are the residents that live there. And it's always a little bit different. And I just love the way the depiction in here is. At the asylum, there's just something like a bomb went off. And you see all these people in there just enjoying all the hell that's going through, especially this lady right here. And one thing I gotta say, I love the artist. The artist is Juan Furrier. Sorry if I butchered your name, but he does a fantastic job, and so does the colors. Everything's just so gorgeous and so in tune with one another, and you just tell that. It's just, the art team in here is fantastic. That in this hellhole, we finally meet our main hero, our main antagonist, Declan, and he's walking around. He's part of the residents that in this asylum, and a portal opens. And in that portal, we meet Nimblejack. Now, Nimblejack, as we'll come to learn, is one very evil spirit. He's not like the evilest spirit you'll ever meet. He's more of almost like a little bit mix of a trickster with just a plain old evil spirit. And he goes up to Declan and just basically looks at him, gets an idea in his head, don't know what that idea is yet, and he just says, Declan, you're going to feel colder. And I just love the artwork, especially on this page right here with the teeth and just his eyes. Everything just flows so well with the panels and the artist and the writing at the beginning. And then we go back to today in Boston, Massachusetts, where we see Nimblejack just walking around. And it's funny though, when you see Nimblejack walking around, everybody around him is just talking about either going to a strip bar, or maybe our significant other is going to find out about our relationship, or, going behind his back. And you just tell that anywhere this guy goes, that everything around him becomes a little darker, and it's just chaos all around him, even though it's just a little bit of chaos. And we just see Nimblejack just climbing up the steps and meeting with a prisoner. And this is where you see how evil this spirit actually is. And I love the guy's reaction when he sees this spirit just coming through, just being like, what the hell is going on? And you see Nimblejack being nimble, and it's just so damn creepy. And I love his posture and I'm talking about Nimblejack's posture in all these pages. And just something that's a little twisted to it all. It's something non-human. Especially this face right here. It just creeps me out. Especially with that lost tooth. I mean, man, that's good artwork, all the way through. And Nimblejack basically tells this guy, let's go and commit suicide. And the interesting part is, as you're looking at it, as the guy's committing suicide, the color starts to fade away, panel by panel, until it's just completely gray, which I thought that was a really, really cool effect. And then you see Nimblejack eating away at the guy's spirit. And it makes me wonder, why didn't Nimblejack do this to Declan? I mean, is Declan kind of his way into the world? He kind of put a little bit of himself in Declan, so that he will always have a key or a doorway to get into this place that we call our own world. after that really cool scene, we go and meet our female character who's taking care of Declan at this time, Reese. And this is when I thought the book got a little bit bland. Is that when you're getting through Reese's part, it's basically she's just the part where she's telling us where we're at this point. Where the book at this point was having a really good flow to it. You know, you're just enjoying yourself. But then in the middle is the point where the writer's like, okay, I got to explain all this stuff that's happened since 1941 to now. And that's all that Reese is there for. She basically gets mugged, and when she gets mugged, a police officer comes in, and that's when the book got really dumb. I just hated this police officer. I hated the way that she was written, and this person just didn't make sense with the way that the flow of the book was going. And there's like this part in there where we find out that Reese, she is a nurse, and she got punched when she got mugged. And the cop asked her, basically, why don't you go to the hospital? And Reese just says, no, I'm a nurse, I don't need to go to the hospital. And the cop says, well, I was a custodian, but my house still got dirty. Now, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, I was like, no, not really. I just love her reaction, like, no. And then you see that the cops are like, hey, we'll help you to your house. We'll, take you to your house. And then you see that Nimble Jack is there. And I just love when Nimble Jack's in this book. He just brings so much chaos, but it's not like as I said before, it's not like very much evil chaos. It's just a chaos that is a little bit fun. But he still can be damn evil, as we saw with that guy with the suicide. And he gets a scent off Reese. So he takes a ride with the cops and Reese. And this is where all the exposition comes in. Where Reese is explaining about her person that she's taking care of. And I was just flipping through it. I got really, really bored really quick. Because I got basically the sense out of it when she was just explained just in a couple paragraphs, but then it kept on going on and on and on. It was just like, does this writer know when to stop? And there's a point in there where we meet Declan again, and Reese tells the cop, and I don't know why the cop came up to her room, but basically tells her, hey, touch him to see how cold he actually is. And she touches his nose. Now, we got the explanation that Declan, he's basically doesn't talk anymore. He just sits in a chair, doesn't do anything, but he does go to the bathroom, and he is still alive. Now, this right here is definitely an invasion of privacy. Or, you're just like the place that you don't want people to go to. Why doesn't she just touch the arm? Why does she have to touch the nose? It just bothers the hell out of me that she would do this to this person. It's just, why? And then you do get the point where she's like, oh my god, he's so, so cold. I just don't like this lady. She acts a little dumb, and she's written really dumb, and it's just really annoying. And then she starts to hit on Reese. And then we get back to Nimble Jack. I just love the way how Nimble Jack doesn't use the doors to get in. He always has to use a window. And it's kind of like the portal that he used in the beginning part to get in. And I don't know if he can't use doors. That'd be a pretty interesting little thing. But he's always, as we see here, using a window to get in. And then he goes and meets Declan for the first time since 1941. And he says to him, basically, you're the wrong kind of crazy. What you were so much fun before. But what happened? And the mystery that we're going to find out in the rest of the book is what happened to Declan. This book, as in the cover, it said to me, this is going to be a gory book. But in the end, it wasn't. It was a pretty fun time. I enjoyed the characters, except for the cop. The cop really annoyed me, just the way she was written, and some of the comments that she made. There was a point in there where she's going out, or she was finally leaving Reese alone, and she basically tells her, hey, do you have anything to eat? And we're just like, God, I hate this cop. I really do. She just felt like a freeloader, and I just hope that her character doesn't come back in the next issue, because I'm definitely going to be picking up the next issue. I'm going to be putting it on my pull list. It's a 5-issue miniseries, and I think this miniseries is actually be really good. If nonetheless, go in there for the art. The art in here is fantastic. The characters, besides the cop, are done very well. In the end, I'm going to give Colder issue number 1 a 3.5 out of 5. A fun book. And if you're looking for a really cool book, and don't be afraid by the cover, because the cover really doesn't signify what the book actually is, go pick this book up. So that's all I have for right now. I have to go back into work, but at least I got one book done. In my next review, I'm going to hopefully get through Storm Dogs and my Batman titles of the week. So this is Dave from the Comic Fix, saying I'll see you guys next time, and remember, stay fresh.